Our training camp preview continues. We've already talked about the offense, the quarterbacks, the coaches. Now we're going to talk about the defense. I'm dan-labbe alongside Mary Kay Cabot. Looking at the defense, let's start with cornerback. We know about Joe Hayden, but let's talk about Justin Gilbert. How quickly can he kind of work his way into that top 2 spot alongside Joe Hayden?
Well, you know, I think that buster-skrine is going to give him a really good run for his money. Buster, again, seems to get better every year, and he's got some experience under his belt, and that's a very difficult position. If you remember, Joe Hayden didn't even start right out of the gate. So Justin Gilbert has some work to do. They are not going to hand him the position, and in speaking with Buster over the last month or so, he's ready for this battle. Justin obviously wants to win the job. And, you know, he's got good ball skills, great size. Fans will see that when they come out to camp, that, you know, he's right in the mix with everything. But you need 3 or 4 really good cornerbacks. Obviously, everyone uses multiple wides. You cannot have too many.
And buster-skrine, this is a guy that has just found a way to hang on. I mean, I would say probably the first half of last season, everybody was ready to run him out of town, but he really got better as the season went along.
He really did, and you know, he gets a lot of action because people don't want to necessarily throw the ball Joe Hayden's way. So buster-skrine, he's gotten a lot of balls thrown his way. He's gotten a lot of experience. He probably will end up covering the slot receiver. And at times, you know, he has struggled here and there on the outside. But he is improving, and this is a position where, you know, you can continue to get better. He's getting great coaching, and I think he'll do well this year.
Adding a guy like Dante Whitner, a veteran, he's been around. What does that do to the secondary and the defense as a whole?
Well, you know, he will be the undisputed leader of that secondary. I mean, you can already see it in practices. He's very vocal. Not only is he talking to his fellow defensive players, but he's also, I'll see him talking to receivers and saying, hey, don't get scared going over the middle or things like that. So he's bringing that, you know, follow me or else leadership quality that Mike Pettine and the coaches like to see. A little bit of that, you know, a little bit of that Ray Lewis kind of moxie that a Pettine has been used to before in his career, Bart Scott type of guys. Vocal, tough, passionate, and I think he'll bring the energy level up in the secondary.
Linebacker, I mean, that's probably, those positions are probably the biggest question marks right now. Who's going to play where? How are they going to get used? How do you think the linebacker position plays out as camp goes along?
Well, first of all, let's talk about Carlos Dansby, who they picked up from the Cardinals in free agency. If you look at his monster stats from last season, if he can bring that to the table this year, what an upgrade that will be at the linebacker position for them in terms of impact plays. I mean, he had 6.5 sacks. He had 16 passes broken up, which I think were right, maybe even more than Patrick Peterson. So I really think that, you know, just in terms of sacks, forced fumbles, tackles behind the line of scrimmage, this guy just was lights out last year. He wanted to win Defensive Player of the Year. He didn't get it. He's coming back to get it this year, and he is one to watch.
How are they going to use Barkevious Mingo this year?
Well, you know what? I think that Barkevious will be used the best way that he can be, and that's by just rushing off the edge. And what they have to try to do is just kind of get that mad dog in a meat market feel from Barkevious Mingo. They really need him to get there with a sense of urgency. He needs a few different pass rush moves. We saw that they shut down the 1 or 2 things he was able to do last year. He only had 2 sacks in his final 12 games, I believe it was. So he really needs to step it up. But this coaching staff, they move forward. I mean, this is an attack-minded defense. We've seen lip service given to that before. These guys back it up. You can check it out with the stats that the Buffalo Bills had last year, the Mario Williams, the Kyle Williams, those guys. These guys should be able to get to the quarterback this year.
And that's how these guys want to play. And they don't have to think a lot, right? I mean, they want to go out there and they just want to get after the quarterback. They want to rush the passer. And obviously you have to play smart, but man, when you can just go out there and have fun, that makes life easier for everybody.
Absolutely. And one to watch, really, in that regard, is Jabaal-sheard. Now, he did say at the minicamp that he won't be dropping back into coverage as much, that he thinks he'll be playing up on the line more and rushing more. So, again, they're trying to get more disruptions, getting to the quarterback more. And obviously, last year, Desmond Bryant, before he suffered the irregular heartbeat, he was leading the team in quarterback disruptions. He had 32, far more than anybody else. So they need to get guys like Desmond Bryant, Paul Kruger, really rolling downhill.
Do you think the defensive line again will be the strength of this defense, as it's been the last couple years?
It has the potential to do that, but I think that now as you look at the secondary too, if you have Joe Hayden having another Pro Bowl season, and you have your number 8 pick Justin Gilbert in there too, and buster-skrine coming along, and Dante Whitner, I don't think that that you can shake a stick at the secondary either.
All right, this is going to wrap this installment of our training camp preview. Keep an eye out for videos talking about the quarterback battle, the offense, and of course, the coaching staff. For Mary Kay Cabot, I'm Dan Labbe.